Hey guys, Professor Bill Comic Book University and the War of Realms tie-in for Strikeforce, the War Avengers. There's a whole bunch of these Strikeforce issues coming out, just bang, bang, bang. This is, until about the very end, this is definitely one of them. It's a one-shot. It's just going to go over a specific part of a story. In fact, it also really does is it actually explains something that happened in issue 3 of War of Realms. So this book could have come out a week or two ago and we would have been just fine. Anyway, we do have 4 War of Realms tie-ins, issues, whatever, this week. So let's just get into this one. Written by Dennis Hopeless Hallam. Drawn by Kim Jacinto and Ario Anandito. Colors by Java Tartaglia and Felipe Sobrero. And VC's Joe Sabino on letters. Kim Jacinto and Matt Hollingsworth did the did the regular cover. The variant cover was done by Nick Bradshaw and Laura Martin. All right. So, what happens here? You remember that scene where in issue 3 of War of Realms that came out 2 weeks ago, when Malekith is holding the ebony blade, the cursed ebony blade, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for bringing this blade to me. It's so ebon, so cursed, so bloodthirsty. You know, I love it." And then all of a sudden, Venom shows up. He's like, "Ooh, I want one of those." And he starts talking to the symbiote, and the symbiote's answering. And nobody has any idea what the hell's going on, including Eddie. Oh yeah, this was that was scary fun, but they never did anything with it. Although this is the book that answers all those questions: the before, during, and a little bit afterwards. This was good. I like this. Captain Marvel, I don't know, she's not being very captain-y. She's just like, we can't win this. We just got to do a couple of hit and runs, and we got to lose the war as slowly as possible. That's cool. I guess that's a strategy. You know what I'm saying? You're acknowledging that this is, you're turning this from a slaughter into a war of attrition. Either way, knowing that you're going to lose. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't know if Dennis Hallam was ever actually in the military or not, but that could be a feasible thing to do. That's something that we would certainly do if we knew that reinforcements were coming. We would definitely do something like that. In fact, that was the exact strategy that the Russians used against the Germans, against the Nazis, specifically back in World War II. As they were trying to take Moscow, they just kept on doing these little hit and run guerrilla operations, losing every time, but they had supplies and they cut off the supply lines for the Germans, and they just wound up getting screwed up. Anyway, you see how easy it is to get me to start talking about military and strategy tactics? So it was cool seeing Venom and Weapon H teaming up with each other. Always a good thing to see Bucky and Natalia Romanova teaming up. Captain Britain here, even though he's on the cover, it was a nice surprise because he actually had a really good role in this. Sif hanging out with Captain Marvel, fun. But I'd say that the hero of this book, for the most part, had to be freaking Deadpool. Now, granted, the book didn't feel like it necessarily transitioned so much as dropped. Deadpool wound up disappearing at some point. Like, he's there in the beginning, and he's doing all these crazy of course, it's dead. He's doing all these Deadpool-y things, and we're having a lot of fun with the character. Then he meets up with some of the other characters. Meets up with, let's just, whatever, it's Namor. He meets up with Namor at some point. And he winds up coming up with this great plan to not lose, to actually possibly win. And then we never really hear from him again. And it's like, are you kidding me? That's all he was there for? And it's a shame. And why am I so bothered by that? The only reason why I'm bothered by that is because I was surprised at how well Dennis Hallam wrote Daredevil. This actually felt like a oh god, I know his name, a Jerry Duggan version of Deadpool. It felt like that. It was great. And I'm just like, dude, Dennis Hallam could definitely write Deadpool. If all of a sudden, like, that the spot opens up, hey Dennis, would you like to write for Deadpool? He should undeniably, unequivocally say yes. Like, just that should be done and done. The art in this book. Let me tell you something. I think that one of Marvel's new plans should be to take 2 top top-notch artists. Two artists that are just top of their game, man. And pit them against each other. Because while they're drawing, they're not going to see what the other guy was doing. And they're just going to be like I'm sitting here putting myself in Ario's place, who's like, man, Kim Jacinto's no joke, man. I got to like really up my game. And Kim is over there talking about, oh man, I'm gonna be challenged up against Ario and Andito? Yo, man, I got to put on my A game, put on my game face. Urgh. And they're both just trying to outdraw the hell out of each other. And the only true winners are us. This was really good book. This was a really good book. You could barely even tell that there were two different artists in this, man. Like they matched styles. Two colorists in this. What? No, man. They matched style. It was great. There were two letters in this. No, there's only one letter in this. I mean, they know what they're doing. This was a fun book, man. From beginning to end. Even though the end just kind of, I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but the ending just kind of felt like an MCU movie without the end credits scene. You know what I'm saying? That's what it kind of felt like. I know it worked for Endgame. Spoiler for a month-old movie. But imagine if they did that with Iron Man and we never got the whole, I want to talk about the Avengers initiative. That would have been messed up. Anyway, guys, go get the book. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.